sandwiched between two tough overseas assignments for India, the comforts of a home season and the number 8 team in the West Indies in a 2-test series. The first of which starts in just under half an hour in Saurashtra in Rajkot. India against the Windies. We are looking ahead to that game on ESPN Cricinfo Match Day. Ajit Agarkar in studio with me, returned from a fine visit to the Ryder Cup.
Yeah, it was
slightly different conditions, Ryder Cup to Rajkot. Enjoyed your time there?
Yeah, it was sensational. What an experience.
Courtney Walsh has made a little journey as well from Dubai to Dhaka. I'm delighted that the former West Indies captain joins us. Good weather, I'm hoping, Courtney, as much as cooler in Dhaka than in Dubai.
Much cooler in Dhaka than it was in Dubai, for sure.
Okay, we'll be building up to that game with Ajit and Courtney Walsh. So stay with us on our pre-show. And the news that we've already got for you is that Virat Kohli has won the toss in Rajkot. It's never fun to not win a toss on the first day. But India will bat first, unsurprisingly. And they announced, contrary to traditional customs that India follow, up 12 before the game, on the eve of the game, much like how England do. From that, it is confirmed that 3 spinners will play. So in comes Kuldeep Yadav, out goes Shardul Thakur. So let's have quick comments on that. You've, the ordeal of being a fast bowler in Rajkot. Shardul Thakur wouldn't mind saving his cap for another day.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's a test cap at the end of the day, so he'll take it wherever he gets an opportunity.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, having played enough at Rajkot, that's one toss. If you're a captain, you want to win, ideally. And then India gets to bowl sort of second and fourth when there's a bit more wear and tear, if there is on that pitch. It's usually a graveyard for bowlers. We'll find out if it's the case. But again, a good toss to win.
News that's also surprisingly come through the toss is that it wasn't Jason Holder that accompanied Virat Kohli. It was Kraigg Brathwaite who celebrates now his 50th test for the Windies by leading the side, while Jason Holder has been ruled out with a slight ankle injury. That's the news that we've got. So it's also a debut for Sherman Lewis. So let's get Courtney Walsh's thoughts. Jason Holder not playing, Courtney. Big man, big figure for Test cricket in the West Indies. How big a loss is this?
Yeah, it's a big loss for the West Indies, not only because he's captain one, but also, I mean, he's like an all-rounder. He bats, he bowls, and he's the leader. So when you lose the leader on the day of the test match, it's got to be a big loss. So it's an opportunity for someone else, but I mean, it's going to be a big loss for the team, and is how quickly they can sort of get over that hurdle and get into test match cricket.
At 25-26, Kraigg Brathwaite is actually the most experienced man in this squad. What's he like as leadership, as captain material, temperamentally to lead this side in Jason Holder's absence?
He's a very good kid, very mature kid. He captained the World Cup team when he was a youngster, so he's done a lot of leadership before. He's actually someone who has been groomed, so it's not going to sort of phase him, so to speak. It'll probably bring the best out of him. He's got cool head, very good concentration skills, as you can see with his batting. So I have no doubt that he'll do a good job. And obviously, the quicker that he can get on the field of play will be the better for him to sort of get those cobwebs out and get on with the job.
Right.
The other thing is, someone who's got the experience as well. 50 tests is a long test career, so that would help. If someone's at times a little bit new, might be a bit more under pressure, but 50 tests is a fair career.
Okay, just confirming the 11 for you. We know that from the squad that played against Bangladesh recently at home and won against the team that Courtney Walsh now coaches, there are a couple of changes. Sunil Ambrish returns to the side. We wonder if that will be the batting order with Kieran Powell and Kraigg Brathwaite up top and Ambrish at 3. Shai Hope's been a revelation in Test cricket. Lots of expectations from Shimron Hetmeyer. Roston Chase has got runs against India. He'll be the all-rounder. And just looking on the other side, we thought maybe the West Indies would also play the extra spinner, but no, it is Shannon Gabriel, Sherman Lewis and Kemo Paul. So there's no place for Jomel Warrican, the left-arm spinner, and Devendra Bishu is the lead spinner. So different approaches by both teams. Ajit says 3 spinners the way to go at Rajkot. Courtney, India announced that yesterday that they would likely play 3 spinners. The West Indies have not played 3 spinners. Just your thoughts?
No, well, I think they have to stick to the strength that has helped them in the last 2 series. I mean, I know it's different condition. Warrican hasn't played for a while, so maybe they didn't want to bring him into a test match immediately, which was what I was thinking. They have Bishu and they have Chase as 2 top line spinners who can do a job, and then there's also Kraigg Brathwaite to fall back and if required. I think Kemo Paul, who's similar to Roach, can move the ball around, and Gabriel, as we know, with the extra pace. I've not seen a lot of Lewis, so that's an exciting prospect to look forward to. But I'm not fully surprised. I could understand everyone wanted to play three seamers, but the West Indies might think that their strength is in fast bowling, so instead of playing three spinners, they'll play three seamers.
Yeah, may not be a bad idea. We've seen England, Australia at times just for the sake of playing with an extra spinner, play a spinner that never really tests batsmen of India's potential.
Yeah, I mean, even with India's attack, you've generally seen if the two spinners bowl well, you don't really require a third one. It's just the luxury that India have, that they have three good spinners. It's not really going to seam or swing around that you need a third seamer. They can afford to go in with five batters. Rishabh Pant's done really well in England recently, so that gives them that sort of comfort as well. It's just a combination that suits India in these conditions. So if you have two good spinners, generally should do the job for you if there is any help.
Let's broaden this discussion. After England, the conversation was quickly changed because the Asia Cup was so far, flipped around so quickly. Just two test matches, and then there's the Australia tour as far as test cricket goes. What are the genuine expectations or takeaways that you want India to focus on in this series?
I mean, ideally Ajinkya Rahane and Pujara would love some runs. That will be the key. I mean, those two, as long as they've now played for India, and they've been important on overseas tours, so that's the first thing. Plus the openers. I mean, you've got two new guys opening, Rahul and Rahul's opened before, but with Dhawan and Vijay seem to be out of the reckoning at the moment. Prithvi Shaw making his debut as well. So batting's obviously been India's concern when they've travelled, apart from Virat Kohli really. So they'd want to get different conditions obviously to what they'll encounter in Australia. But runs nevertheless will give them confidence.
Our good friend Sanjay Manjrekar saying perhaps Pujara should have been rested in an attempt to try more batsmen out. Would you agree?
Not in my opinion. I think Test cricket, your best 11 should play. I don't think unless fast bowlers maybe if there's been heavy workload or there's a few niggles around, you can think about that. But otherwise, your best 11 should always play every single Test match that's available. I don't agree with resting people for Test cricket. One day cricket, T20 cricket. There's enough opportunities there.
Okay, that's for what India can look forward to. On paper, Courtney, we know that this doesn't look like an even contest. Number 1 team, number 8 team, India have steamrolled top opposition when it comes to playing at home. In some ways, there's absolutely nothing to lose. It might just be a good thing for the West Indies. Can it be a good thing at times?
It is a very good thing for the West Indies. Less pressure. The number 8 team, you're not expecting to do well. They can go out there, relax and enjoy the game. And I think also they've shown their intent with the team that they have played. The batting has been the concern, especially on away tours, and they have tried to sort of strengthen that as best as they can. So I think there's less pressure, more relaxed, and it would be exciting for especially someone like Ambrish, who's coming back into the fore, and Ed Meyer, who has played so well in the Caribbean. So I think all eyes will go watching on them, but the West Indies has less pressure on their shoulders, and they should just go out and play the best cricket that they can.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Everyone keeps talking about England and Australia for India. I mean, there's still 2 Test matches to be played. Like Courtney says, West Indies will be under less pressure, but India have still got to play good cricket to win a Test match. Which I think in general under Virat Kohli the intensity never drops, which is a real positive of him being the captain. He doesn't let intensity drop. Doesn't matter what the opposition is.
And might I say, while we've looked at the previous encounters between these two teams, Courtney and the West Indies haven't won a Test in the last 5 series against India, home or away. In the last, say, year or two, since that Test in England, which got all our attention with Shai Hope and how this team has got a bit of character about it, there's been a slight turn upward. It's not been a happy story for West Indies Test cricket in the last few years, but is it fair to say that the decline has somewhat been arrested and there is some hope now if you look at it from a West Indies point of view?
There is some hope in Shai. Yes, there is definitely a move in that direction. I mean, the team has been playing a lot better in Test cricket as well. They've improved, but they've maybe not improved in the rankings, but in terms of the character and the way they're playing and what they're trying to achieve, and trying to sort of get that sort of formation or format that they can back themselves in. So they've had some reasonable good Test matches. So I think it's exciting. This is a good test for them. Playing in India is never going to be easy. Playing the number 1 team is never going to be easy. So this is a good test of character, and that's what's very good about Test cricket. Because if the West Indies have 2 or 3 good days, they could be in with a shout in this Test match. But as we know, Test cricket, you can never make any predictions. But I think the way they have been playing, this is a good chance now to see how the youngsters sort of adapt to Test cricket.
Okay, it is a first assignment in India for a number of these players. So, yes, would be interesting to see how they go. They have the luxury of not having the pressure to bat on day one, even though you would have wanted to win the toss in a place like Rajkot. Man who will bat in the very first session will be Prithvi Shaw, who as a teenager makes his debut for India. In case you haven't heard or seen enough of the Mumbai teen sensation, here's a little more. I like the music that accompanied that video of Prithvi Shaw, almost like a children's video that you tend to put out. But as a man who's seen Prithvi Shaw from close quarters, there's a lot to like about him.
Yeah, just his improvement, how he's progressed. We've been reading about him in the Mumbai newspapers since he was a school kid, the amount of runs that he keeps piling on. And you knew that this guy was the one to look forward to. But whether someone progresses and goes and plays for India is another thing. And you've seen Ranji Trophy. I watched a fair bit of him last year. Again, this year has played wherever he's played. He's got the runs, and sheer number of runs that he scored and the weight of it has forced the selectors to pick him, which is always a good thing, even at a young age. As his not a traditional sort of opener as you would like. I don't think there are many in the world at the moment.
Kraigg Brathwaite is probably one of the few actually.
Yeah. Plays quite a few shots early on, but still has a decent defensive technique. So, yeah, very interesting debut. Really looking forward to today.
If you look at the numbers, he's no doubt earned his place. There might be some of you who think Mayank Agarwal's piled on more runs than him, or has been more prolific, or is senior in the first class setup. But Prithvi Shaw, it's not like he's been picked on an IPL performance, as Virat Kohli pointed out in the pre-match press conference. An average of 56 runs in the first class season, 700s, including that one on debut, as we've pointed out. So there is significant first class runs to back Prithvi Shaw. Courtney, when you have a young teenage kid making his debut, I don't know what the mindset of some of these fast bowlers are, but how do you try and make it as uncomfortable for him starting off? There will be some nerves, even though it's Rajkot and they can bat. How would you like to see the West Indies have a little bite at him?
There's bound to be some nervous stuff, but you got to try to be as aggressive as you can against him. Try to rough him up early and try to unsettle him, because, I've been watching and reading about him, and it looks a very promising young kid, but you don't want him to come good against somebody else and not you. So, you don't want to get into this space early and try and sort of rough him up and introduce him to Test cricket in a rough way and try to dislodge him as quickly as you can.
What's he like temperamentally, Prithvi Shaw?
That's the one thing that's kind of got him to this level. I think if he didn't have the temperament, I don't think he would have scored as many runs. You've seen him in different sort of, whether it's domestically or for India A, keep scoring runs. So, seems fearless from whatever little I've seen of him. Is not afraid to play shots, but this is a different test, Like Courtney said, it's first test match. First morning there'll always be nerves. You'll have to be watchful. You're still playing against international class attack. So, but from whatever I've seen, he will not be afraid to play shots.
Yeah, that's one thing we've associated. Whatever you've seen of Prithvi Shaw, he even plays shots on the up against fast bowlers. Would it be wise to tell him don't play too many shots early on, or just not talk to him?
Not really. Hopefully not too much has been said to him.
Yeah.
I think I'm sure there'll be enough nerves as it is. No, it's probably a good thing as well that India's won the toss. He's batting first, doesn't have to stand in the field dwelling over when he's going to bat. No, I can't imagine him playing any differently. Obviously, watchful first morning, there's bound to be something in the pitch, but I can't see him playing any differently. Or I hope he doesn't play any differently than what has got him here.
It seems like there's every chance, he's been given to succeed. But at the same time, if India are looking for an opener to book a place to Australia, there is a little bit of pressure. There is something at stake. At times, players are cast and outcast very quickly in 2018 Test cricket.
Yeah, but I mean, it gives him the best opportunity. You look at it as an opportunity, not worry about what the next test is going to do or what the next tour is going to do. You want to try and worry about, it's anyone, test debut for anyone is special. So, you want to worry about what you're going to do today morning and, take it from there. So, yeah, I don't think he'll be looking too far ahead. He's been waiting for this opportunity, couple of years of prolific sort of domestic seasons.
Yes.
And that's got him here, so rather worry about this innings.
Yeah, well, we know how we get carried away with teenage Mumbai sensational batsmen that get runs early in their first class career. Yes, Courtney.
Now, Sen, I fully agree with that. I think the only thing he'll be thinking about today is making his debut and trying to do well. He will not be thinking about a tour of Australia, not today. Everything that he'll be focusing on is he'll be happy to be making his debut, happy to be wearing that cap of India, and he's going to be trying to do the best he can for himself and the team. Maybe after this test match, he might be thinking about other things, but everything will be focused on just today, and he'll be very happy to be making his debut.
Yeah.
Couldn't have picked a nicer pitch to make his debut on.
Absolutely.
Either.
Okay, that is the larger conversation that we're having on India's opening combination, because this is the first time in many years that both a fit Murali Vijay and a fit Shikhar Dhawan have been excluded from the setup. Now, you look at their opening combinations in pairs since Tests since 2017, there have been lots of chopping and changing. Parthiv Patel included in one of those South Africa Tests too. Abhinav Mukund's found his place in and out. KL Rahul, but for that 100 in that last innings at the Oval, wonder if the narrative would have been different around him. He's now the senior opening bat, but that doesn't make for good reading. So, there is an opening spot to be taken up for grabs if Prithvi Shaw wants it for himself. In his way comes Shannon Gabriel and the rest of the West Indies attack. Now, there's a big role for Gabriel to play in the absence of Kemar Roach, who unfortunately had to return home due to a family bereavement. But we're focusing a little more on Shannon Gabriel, who's had the stellar time of his life in the last year or so in Test cricket. Have a look. What is going on in the Caribbean? From Garner, Holding, Ambrose and Walsh, we've gone to quicks who look like this and guys who look like this, but bowl at under 130 k's per hour. And then there is Shannon Gabriel, 6'2", built like Anthony Joshua, hits 150 clicks per hour, West Indian. What are we waiting for? Let's give him the torch and let him relight the fire in Babylon. But till about a year ago, Gabriel was best known as the guy who, with West Indies needing to bat out just 7 balls to save a test versus Pakistan, drew the series, ruined Misbah and Yunus's farewell, saved the world from global warming, decided instead to play a slog sweep and get himself bowled. Thus associating himself with a totally different stereotype about big, strong men. Till the beginning of last year, Gabriel had a bowling average of 38 and a strike rate in the mid-60s. It was all a bit too Ishant Sharma and too little Joel Garner or Ian Bishop, the guy he'd been compared to when he debuted in 2012. But over the past 18 months, all that pace and bounce has begun to result in what it's really all about for a fast bowler: wickets. He's got 62 of them in 14 tests since Jan 2017 at an average of 22.82 and a strike rate of 42.4. 4 5-wicket hauls and 1 10-4, a 13 for 121 effort against Sri Lanka that was the third best performance in history by a West Indies bowler. But again, with Gabriel, it's not about his stats. It's that he is 6'2", built like a heavyweight and a real West Indian quick. It is that he hits batsmen with fierce bouncers, gets centurions out by frightening them, that he doesn't really get much swing or seam, just bangs it in or bowls it fast and straight. If we're making Gabriel sound like a bit of a brute, however, he isn't. He's actually more from the Ambrose school of intimidation. Quiet stares, disdainful turns after beating a batsman, mystique dipped in menace. And he's a real hard worker. His recent success has, by all accounts, been the result of a slow, tough journey. Just ask Bish himself. Well, it's not just improvement, it's improvement that you can see in the numbers. The best bowling average in tests in 2018, and he's number 2 in test cricket after only his captain Jason Holder. You wouldn't think that's a stat that you associate with the likes of Mone Morkel, Pat Cummins, etc. Courtney Shannon Gabriel, first test in India in Rajkot. Vast improvement. What do you attribute that to? And what's he got to do to try and keep the menace going on Indian pitches?
I think his workload, his work ethic has been very, very good, as Bish pointed out. I remember seeing him doing some training myself when I was in Trinidad watching him, and his dedication, preparation for getting himself ready was exceptional. The challenge he'll have in India is that, as I said, this will be his first test, but more so, it will probably be the first test that he hasn't got someone like a Kimon Roach or a Jason Holder. He's actually the leader of the pack today with 2 youngsters who have not played. One will be making his debut, and one just has a handful of test matches. So that's going to be another challenge for him, and also a challenge for his captain as to how he's been used. But he's up for the challenge. They've been putting in the work. The team was in Dubai for camp, so they're sort of ready to do battle. But I mean, the challenge for him is how well he cope with being the pressure as being the lead, not just the attacking bowler, but the more senior bowler on the field today.
More conversation around Gabriel and the 2 young fast bowlers, maybe after we've seen them. In all this chat of Prithvi Shaw, we haven't focused on KL Rahul, who has got a significant little point to prove in test cricket himself.
Yeah, and right now, no sort of worry that there is someone looking over his shoulder. After that 100 at Oval, he obviously feels with, Vijay, who I felt has been a little bit hard done by. Shikhar, missing out as well. So, the team said we trust you to be our next opener, and there is a long run for him in the near future at least. So he's got to start repaying that faith. I think Virat Kohli's shown a lot of faith in him over the years, whether it's in one-day cricket or test cricket. I think it's about time. That consistency needs to come through from Rahul, because we can see, he's got all the goods to succeed.
Okay, let's see how the first session of this series goes. Many thanks, Courtney Walsh. Get your thoughts at lunchtime. So to Ajit Agarkar. So we hope to have your company too for ESPN Cricinfo Matchday. News from Rajkot is that India won the toss. Prithvi Shaw debuts. And of course, they will bat first. Keep an eye out for the West Indies. They'll be led by Kraigg Brathwaite in the absence of Jason Holder through an ankle injury in what is going to be Brathwaite's 50th test match. We'll see you again at lunchtime. Bye-bye.